So welcome back to part 3 of the happiness series and to day 8. Now, yesterday I was asking you how you feel when somebody else gives you some good news about either themselves or somebody close to them. Well, today I'd like you to take a moment to reflect on how it feels when other people meet your positive news with a genuine sense of excitement and joy. Because sometimes this can just help with that connection. It can make it feel a bit more sort of obvious. So take a moment to think which people in your life genuinely sort of celebrate your success. Now, don't be too shocked if there's nobody that immediately comes to mind. That's not at all uncommon. But there may be just one or two people, kind of key people who you will always share your good news with. And you share your good news with them because you know that their sense of excitement or enthusiasm is genuine. And it feels good for other people to share in our good news. So instinctively, you'll go to those people. Now, if you just take a moment to think what that does to your own sense of happiness when that person shares in it. And now take a moment to think of a person who, I think I used the expression yesterday, but sort of takes the wind out of your sails a little bit. You have some really positive news, you're feeling great, and somehow they have a way of turning it around and really, you end up not feeling quite so good about the situation. Now, if we just think ourselves, how we feel in those different situations, and how much better it feels when people share in our sense of enjoyment, then immediately it becomes obvious as to why we would want to do that for other people. We know how it feels ourselves, and so of course we would want other people to share that same feeling. So with that in mind and starting the exercise today, knowing that sense of enjoyment, we're going to visualize it spreading throughout ourselves, but also much wider than that. Not just the people we know, the people we care about, but as far as the mind can possibly imagine. So when you're ready, eyes open, feet on the floor, just taking some nice big deep breaths. And with the next out breath, just closing the eyelids now as you just settle in to the space around you. And just scanning down through the body now, remembering as always to notice the emotion as well as the physical sensation. So clear about the emotion. Now just being clear about your motivation. So easy for this part of the exercise to become a bit routine, to feel a bit stale. But ask yourself why you're sitting to meditate today. Who is it in your life right now who could really benefit from you sharing in their sense of joy? So just making it very real. And now without any effort at all, just settling the attention on the rise and the fall of the breath. Just allowing the mind to stay with that movement just for the next few minutes. And just beginning the visualization now. In your own time, remember to experience the feeling as well as the image of the visualization. And when it feels as though that image has gone as far now as you can possibly imagine, that entire space just filled with a genuine sense of enjoyment, of joy, however you like to think of it. Just letting go now of that image, that idea, and just letting the mind have a bit of time to do whatever it wants to do. And just bringing the attention now back to the body. Back to the physical sensations in the body. The sounds, the smells. Opening your eyes in your own time. Still remembering that idea of moving from the meditation to mindfulness. From awareness in an exercise to awareness in everyday life. Nothing more complicated than that. Just taking a moment to appreciate that feeling, to remind yourself of the benefits of maintaining that awareness throughout the day. And then just sitting back when you're ready. And just to pick up on that idea we were looking at the beginning of today's exercise, just noticing through the day. Now, this is a tricky exercise to do without getting involved in too much kind of judgment and criticism of others, which of course is the very opposite of what we're wanting to do in part 3. But just starting to notice how other people celebrate your own sense of happiness or joy. So this, as I say, isn't meant to highlight those people that don't. It's simply recognizing how it feels when other people are really happy about your happiness, and how it feels when other people either don't really seem that bothered about it, or worse, seem to really resent it in some way. And when we're clear about that, when we really see that, when we feel it, then it's very difficult to continue that mode of behavior towards anybody else actually. Immediately we start to recognize the benefits in sharing in other people's happiness, and therefore we start to experience more happiness ourselves. As with all of these techniques, it sounds so easy, and in essence, actually it is. The idea of it is incredibly straightforward. The only difficult thing is remembering to notice those moments when we engage the thoughts in such a way that they get in the way of that sense, that innate sense of happiness and enjoyment.